Have you ever wondered how astronauts manage to pee in space even though there was no gravity to help them? They are floating around and so is the urine in their prostate, but it still manages to get out with a strong flow. And it is all down to this well-guarded trick that scientists have been struggling to explain ever since the 60s. In fact, many doctors suspect this could be the secret to ending prostate problems once and for all, especially since astronauts are famous to urologists for never having prostate or kidney problems. It's a water hack that allows them to pee 2.5 times faster than any average man in zero gravity whenever they want with no effort whatsoever. The best part? You can do this without even having to get up from your couch. It's that easy. It's no wonder medical scientists are doing hundreds of tests just to be able to explain why it works so well. After you'll see with your own eyes what I'm talking about, you'll be able to take full control of your bladder and pee like a power hose, enjoying a steady urine flow whenever you want, while boosting your libido and adding years of good sex, restful sleep, and unlimited freedom to your life. Listen, despite what you've been led to believe by doctors or big pharma, your prostate becoming enlarged is not a normal part of aging. In fact, it not only has absolutely nothing to do with your age, but as recent studies from Harvard Medical School have shown, the real cause of prostate enlargement has everything to do with a mineral buildup that is lurking in your urinary system right now, coating the walls of your bladder and filling your prostate with toxic limestone-like deposits that hang heavy, adding constant pressure to your urethra. Once you understand exactly what is happening in your body, you not only will have the power to take full control of your bladder and even support your kidneys to eliminate infections and stones, but you'll also free yourself from anxiety and fatigue, regaining your vitality, sex drive, and endurance way beyond the very best days of your youth. No matter if you're 40, 70, or 80 years old. No matter how long you've been suffering from prostate enlargement or what your medical condition is, just imagine what it would feel like to not waste countless hours just sitting in a toilet, struggling to push out a few drops of pee, maintain a steady stream, or fear that you'll be leaking urine in front of everyone. Never have to worry about health complications like urinary tract infections, painful bladder stones, aggressive kidney diseases, or ending up in diapers. Or about the fact that you'll only inspire pity to your partner, or that you'll be seen as senile by those around you. Instead, you wake up refreshed and full of energy. You pee like a racehorse and enjoy the strength and libido of a young man, adding years of good sex, restful sleep, and unlimited freedom to your life, just like over 157,000 men already did.
Before I tried out your method, I couldn't even remember how it felt to have a fully empty bladder. Now I'm peeing like a fire hose whenever I want. I have so much strength I can hardly believe it. I feel so free. Thank you. I hope more men find out about this.
I have to admit that at first, I wasn't sure about your method. But when you're desperate, you'll give anything a try. Thank God I did. I no longer feel the need to pee all the time. I no longer feel pressure or pain or get infections. I can relax and sleep like a baby. The funniest thing was the look on my doctor's face when he saw the changes. He's still in shock.
This condition puts you in a really dark place and makes you think you're alone and will never get better. I know. I felt this way for 5 years, and it was horrible, physically and mentally. I thought it wouldn't hurt to try your method, but I never expected it to work so well and in such a short time. I still can't wrap my head around how much I was suffering and how healthy I feel today. So to all of you out there, you can get your life back, and it's easier than you'd think.
Once you'll get to see the groundbreaking science behind this inexpensive solution for yourself, I'm sure that you'll be excited to give it a try. Because in the next 5 minutes, I'll reveal why more and more American men are suffering from BPH, urinary and kidney infections or ED, and why their number is expected to grow every single year. The reason why the government officials are desperately trying to hide it more than any other health statistics, and how you can find out if you're also a victim just by taking a look in the basement of your building. You'll also find out about the cold drink that instantly triggers your prostate, and why you should avoid it at all costs no matter how harmless us health experts claim it is. And last but not least, you'll discover why astronauts never get BPH and how they manage to pee like racehorses in zero gravity by doing something you too can do without even having to get up from your couch. Hello, my name is Jeremy Moore. I am 62 years old and I live in a small city close to Stanford, California, together with my wife Annie. For over 35 years, I've been an anatomy and cell biology professor at a world-renowned medical research university. Every single day, teaching and hopefully inspiring the future doctors of our country has been incredibly rewarding for me. In fact, as you're about to see, had it not been for my teaching job, I wouldn't have come across the prostate shrinking 15-second ritual that transformed my health and is now changing the lives of so many men. A few months after turning 50, I started having problems with my prostate. At first, I found myself looking for toilets more often. My flow wasn't as steady and powerful as it used to be. Sometimes the urge was so big that I had to go in the middle of my classes or during a meeting, something that had never happened to me. It used to take me way too long too. So long that from one point on, I started using closed toilets and gave up urinals just because I was too ashamed to pee next to my younger colleagues. As my issues got worse by the day, I put all my faith into doctors. I went through the stressful rectal exams, blood and urine tests, throwing money at screenings and detailed analysis, hoping it will pay off. I even had a transrectal ultrasound and a catheter threaded through my urethra to my bladder. It was awful, but not a single one of the treatments prescribed really worked for me. And when swallowing the fist of pills recommended by the doctor didn't work, I tried alternative approaches like teas and supplements and even acupuncture. I am not proud of this, but at one point I was so desperate that I dipped my testicles into ACV mixed with coconut oil, following some advice I found on an online forum. All I got was a bad rash, and I would not recommend this to anyone. I should have known better. In fact, maybe I can save you some money and trouble by telling you the so-called treatments and methods that did absolutely nothing for me, as well as the ones that are plain dangerous. Let's start with medication like alpha blockers, such as uroxetrol, Cardura, or Flomax, or 5-alpha reductase inhibitors such as Proscar or Avodart. These medications should relax your bladder muscles or shrink your prostate by preventing hormonal changes. Sadly, these meds only work temporarily in men with relatively small prostates, and side effects include severe dizziness, nausea, and headaches. Sometimes your doctors might recommend combined drug therapy, which means combined side effects. Or maybe they might try to convince you to go through a minimally invasive surgical therapy. For this, you somehow have to scrape out from $20,000 to $130,000 and hope for the best. Not only are results not guaranteed, but it can still leave you prone to complications like semen flowing backward into the bladder instead of out through the penis during ejaculations, temporary difficulty with urination and bladder control, bleeding, urinary tract infection, and erectile dysfunction. Because after a few years of prostate problems, I was frankly exhausted about the nightly trips to the bathroom, and I felt I hated being in the toilet for one more second. At one point, I was spending more time over the water closet than in my bed. To top it all, my libido was far from what it used to be. After losing my erection a few times in the bedroom, I was scared to even try and be intimate with my wife. It broke my heart as I could feel she was drifting apart from me. She kept saying that she's fine and that things will be okay. Even so, I could tell there wasn't a glimpse of hope left in her that I could even satisfy her again. When she said she needed to talk one day, I was convinced she wanted to ask for a divorce. Surprisingly, she proposed that we go on a trip to the Canary Islands to maybe blow off some steam together. I couldn't refuse her, even though the plane trip was an embarrassing hell for both of us, as I always had to occupy the toilet. I can remember even now how people rolled their eyes at me as they had to wait for me to come out of the bathroom once again. Then, during our 2-week holiday, something strange happened. Even though I would go to the toilet, I was peeing less and less, maybe one drop here and there. I didn't want to worry too much about it or ruin anyone's holiday, so I just put in on my usual prostate issues. However, after a few days, a rigid bulge appeared in my abdomen. Initially, I thought it was a hernia. Nothing so serious and urgent as to spend thousands of dollars in a hospital in a foreign country. But after not peeing for 48 hours straight, not even a single drop, I started freaking out. As the bulge got bigger and felt weird, I went to the tiny local hospital close to our holiday resort. After the doctor examined me, I found out that my hernia was actually my bladder filled with pee and on the brink of bursting. The only way to release the liquid was to insert a catheter into my manhood, so I was terrified that I accepted immediately, praying to God until the last minute that they would eventually find a better solution. Sadly, I was far from the truth. My misery had just begun. After they inserted the catheter and emptied my poor bladder, there was no doctor or nurse available to take it out, as the small local hospital was understaffed. Imagine that I had to spend the rest of my holiday with a tube shoved up my penis and a pee bag strapped to my ankle and walk like that on the beach. If you think that's bad enough, wait until you hear the rest of the story, because the medical staff was too busy when I initially arrived at the ER. No one paid attention to the size of the catheter they used. At the end of the weekend, I was in horrendous pain because the tube had been too big and had wreaked havoc on the inside of my penis. Bottom line, I needed urgent hospitalization again, and I had to pay $12,600 for it, even though it wasn't my fault. My wife spent the last days of her dream holiday on the hospital hallways trying to convince the nurses to take care of me while I was knocked out with pain. As I was lying on the hospital bed, I wondered if I would ever be a normal man again. I didn't even dare to think if I would ever be able to be intimate with the woman I loved. I thought about all the pain and embarrassment I endured, all the money I spent on gruesome medical examinations and chemical pills, about how I'd become a pitiful, senile shadow of a man in my wife's eyes, and how I'd probably have to wear diapers and catheters all my life. I was wondering if life is worth living like this. I realized I couldn't just sit there, paralyzed with fear, feeling sorry for myself and not doing anything about it. No. God was my witness that I would spend every waking moment looking for a real solution the second I would be released from the hospital. So as soon as I landed back home, I began my research with a question that might seem silly at first sight, but it was precisely what helped me unlock the mystery. Why do we pee? Why does our body choose to do this in the first place? It's as simple as it sounds. Your body does this to eliminate the toxins from your system. So I wondered, what is happening when your body always feels the urge to pee? My assumption was that, in the case of BPH, the body can't stop peeing because it's so desperately trying to eliminate something that it considers to be toxic. But what? Was there something toxic in the bodies of so many men, no matter their age, genetics, or medical conditions? And if so, where did it come from? Must have been something from the exterior, maybe an environmental factor. So I started digging deeper, looking over maps showing the incidence rates of BPH in America. What I found after a few days filled me with anger and despair. Listen, what I'm about to show you in the next few seconds might make you fuming mad. Not going to lie to you. However, what I want you to keep in mind is that there is a way out. Here it is. If you were to look over a map showing the incident rates of BPH and prostate cancer in America and compare it to maps that show environmental factors like pollution, soil, water, you'll see a very interesting but at the same time infuriating match. The BPH incident rate map matches with the water hardness map. As it turns out, the answer is in the water, or in the tap water to be more precise. Harvard was one of the first publications who pulled the alarm. In America, the hard water is filled with solid microscopic matter like calcium carbonate. This solid microscopic matter from the water, or mineral buildup, sticks to the walls of your bladder and all around your urinary system, just like limestone sticks to pipes. In time, it builds up, creating a constant pressure, coating your prostate and making it larger. The prostate becomes engorged with this mineral buildup and makes you pee more in a desperate attempt to flush them out. More and more honest and brave independent researchers are doing their best gathering data about how the quality of water is directly related to BPH incidence rate. But their good intentions come with a high risk. Government officials are trying to shroud information because the effects of citizens learning about this type of research could put many districts in severe financial distress. It would lead to elected officials being held accountable, something they desperately want to avoid. It would also cost around $92 billion to repair water infrastructure in the northeast of the U.S., 147 million for the Midwest, and no less than $204 billion in the South, according to the waterworks experts with first-hand knowledge of the extent of the problem. But latest surveys have demonstrated that 44%, that is almost half of Americans, have improper tap water caused by poor and aging water pipe infrastructure. This water is not filtered sufficiently, which leads it to be full of microscopic matter and even parasites. Women don't suffer from this because their piping is less complicated and shorter, as they don't have a prostate. The natural reaction when you have to frequently urinate is to abstain from it. This is bad because the longer the calcium-filled pee stays in the bladder, the longer it has time to deposit. In fact, you can see for yourself with the following test. Pour tap water into a transparent glass or bottle and leave it for a couple of days. If you see white substance on its walls, then imagine how much gunk and mineral deposits clog your urinary system for years on end. Or maybe you think drinking more water could help you keep things moving. This is also bad because the more you drink, the more calcium enters the body and gets sifted through, coating the walls of your bladder. Next thing you know, your prostate becomes even more enlarged because of the body's natural inflammatory reaction. As such, it's pressing even stronger on the bladder, squeezing out the liquid and retaining even more calcium. The more time passes, the more toxins and mineral buildup pile up, which is why BPH appears at an older age, even though some men are lucky enough to get it earlier, like in their 30s. You might say, but I do not live in an area with hard water. Unfortunately, even if you do not live in an area with very old infrastructure, everything is linked, just like rivers and oceans are. And a part of the water that is not filtered correctly will still run through your pipes at one point or another. Maybe you won't get serious prostate problems at 50, but there is a risk at 60 or 65. After reading through all the studies, experiments, and reports, the solution seemed a no-brainer to me. Find something that could clear the mineral coating off my prostate and urinary tract and flush out all the mineral buildup from my system. How was I going to do that? I had no clue. One of the silver linings during my long hours of research was that I came across a very useful tip confirmed by tens of people to work. I used it myself and it helped me relieve my prostate a few times until I found the solution that I am about to share with you. Apply a warm water bottle to the perineal area. This means the place right under your testicles. It won't help you eliminate the calcium deposits, but it can make the crystals a little less hard. In turn, you feel less discomfort. Now, I have to admit, even with using the best relief tips I could find, I can't put into words how difficult my recovery was after leaving the hospital. I no longer felt like a man, more like a crippled shadow of myself, one that could be drenched in a pool of urine at any moment. Through all those doomed days, the only thing that kept me going was my fury. Fury at how the government is failing the men of America who have helped build this great nation, how it is robbing them of years of rest. You worked hard your whole life to put money aside to enjoy your old years, but instead you are robbed of your manhood, having to go to the toilet all the time, crippled and miserable. That's why, even though I could barely walk around, I decided to return to my teaching job at the university and keep on trying to find a real solution somehow. After all, I did have half of the puzzle solved, the real root cause of BPH. I knew what needed to be fixed. I just needed to discover the method to do it. Well, there must be a God out there, because after just a couple of weeks, my luck changed for the better thanks to a special guest at one of my lectures. The special guest was Dr. S.T., and he had been working with the NASA medical team for decades. My hands shook a bit when I met him, and no wonder. His career was so impressive and clearly everyone thought so. I had never seen the conference room brimming with students. Everyone had questions, from what astronauts eat or drink to how they sleep or what vitamins they take. The lecture was almost over when a student in the third row asked one question that filled the room with both laughter and curiosity. How do astronauts pee while they are floating around in space? After all the giggles toned down, the doctor said that NASA medical staff was always made sure that astronauts pee 2.5 times faster than average thanks to a formula they had to drink. This formula helped with the strength of their urine flow and helped them compensate for the lack of gravity. They sometimes called it the P and zero gravity protocol. As a side note, Most of the astronauts were convinced that the reason they never got prostate issues was because of that drink. But that was just a rumor, Dr. St. concluded. Rumor or not, I immediately knew I had to find more out about it. So I invited the doctor for a coffee after the lecture. My heart was pounding while I told him my entire story and presented all the facts and papers I had found, basically begging him to give me the formula. Everything you're telling me makes perfect sense, the doctor replied after listening patiently to me for the last 20 minutes. However, he could not give me the formula. Those were top secret information. He risked jail time and who knows what else. Can you at least give me the key ingredient of the formula or a hint of anything? I pushed my luck. At that point, I had no shame. I had been through too much. The doctor sighed and agreed. As soon as the ingredient rolled out of his lips, I was shocked. It had been under my nose all the time. I got home and I started verifying the science. Was there any proof that this common ingredient worked? After seeing tens of studies rolling under my eyes, I had no doubt. This one key ingredient could dissolve even the hardest mineral crystals accumulated in the urinary tract and flush them away like they'd never existed while shrinking the prostate in record time. It also had a fascinating history. It had been used as an ink component by scientists, and it helped inventors make the first photographs until doctors discovered what a powerful cleanser and antiseptic it can be. But as I got overly enthusiastic, the doctor said there was a catch. It mattered in what form you took the ingredients and from where you'd extract it. That was the last piece of the puzzle I had to solve. I remember at that point, I turned into a madman. I started researching the most potent sources for this wonder ingredient, calling hundreds of local growers and suppliers, asking questions about processing temperatures, how their plants are grown and harvested. After 3 months with some inside tips from the doctor, I finally had the recipe. All I needed was to create the formula, have the right dosage for every ingredient to ensure maximum potency. For this, I turned to the grade A students of the Department of Biological Chemistry and Molecular Pharmacology. Not only to them, but also to one of their professors and to my best friend, Dr. Gary. These guys were pure geniuses and were immediately fascinated by my project. So they agreed to help me during the night when nobody was at the university. Some of them were curious, while others had grandparents or parents that suffered from BPH. All in all, seeing all of them working in secret for something that could potentially save the lives of thousands of men was one of the best feelings in the world. After continuous months of testing every possible interaction in order to achieve the most effective combination of compounds, they came up with a powerful dropper formula that had repeatedly proven its amazing ability to crush mineral buildup in tens of clinical trials. I am going to tell you right now what the ingredients are, how they work in simple steps, and how easy it is for you to get them today. Step 1. Dissolve and clear out the toxic mineral coating that inflames your prostate and adds pressure to your bladder. As I told you, there is one key ingredient that can dissolve even the hardest mineral crystals accumulated in the urinary tract and flush them away like they'd never existed while wiping out inflammation and shrinking your prostate in record time. And this ingredient is iodine. Now, if you're wondering how in the world iodine can do that, just like I did the first time when the doctor from the NASA medical team told me about it, remember there's a catch. It matters where it is sourced from. Iodine might be best known as a surefire disinfectant before surgeries, but what few people know is that its powers go way beyond. Emergency authorities use it to disinfect and clean water during natural disasters in order to make it drinkable again. In the case of nuclear emergencies, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends the use of potassium iodine as a protection from radiation injuries. Most of all, iodine has an incredibly rapid effect against a wide variety of bacteria, viruses, fungi, and toxic minerals levels because it can quickly penetrate and neutralize foreign microorganisms in our bodies while sheltering ourselves from damage. Epidemiological studies show an association between high iodine intake and low risk of prostate deadly diseases, while underlying its benefits for men suffering from an enlarged prostate. In fact, iodine has been shown to considerably improve urine flow rate in BPH sufferers where the prostate presses on the urethra. Iodine also prevents tract infections and improves semen quality. Your thyroid gland requires iodine to produce the hormones T3 and T4, both of which help control your libido and stamina, your weight, and energy levels. Men who lack iodine usually deal with erectile dysfunction, hair loss, and extreme fatigue. Now here's the most interesting fact. While 10% of iodine is used by the thyroid, the rest of the 90% is excreted in the urine. This means that once present in your body, iodine quickly gets passed into your pee and travels along with it through your prostate, bladder, and urinary tract, leaving everything sparkly clean and free of inflammation. Now you might assume you're swimming in iodine by having iodized salt in your food. Well, not really. Since U.S. manufacturers aren't required to use this type of salt for processed foods, you are far from the daily recommended amount. The result is that we've been sliding toward iodine deficiency since the 1970s. When University of Texas at Arlington researchers tested 88 samples of table salt, they found that half contained less than the FDA recommended amount of iodine. This leads to no less than 2 billion people suffering from iodine deficiency. Even if you would find a table salt that has enough iodine in it, it wouldn't help you with your enlarged prostate. And that's because the only iodine that has the power to penetrate and dissolve the limestone-like coating is the iodine that comes from certain types of seaweed. Pharmaceutical researchers at the University of Florida say there's one particular species of seaweed that helps protect various organs from chronic disease and fight prostate growth effectively. Japanese men eat it all the time. No wonder their daily intake of iodine is 25-fold higher than in Western countries. In fact, in Japan, only 12% of men are affected by BPH in old age, while in America the numbers soar to 80%. Hard to think this is just a coincidence. This special algae I'm talking about is called noriaki leaf, and the medical findings suggest you can't find a more concentrated form of iodine anywhere else. Noriaki can clear arteries of cholesterol while helping blood circulate freely and purify your system of mineral toxic buildup. To make the formula even stronger, and to increase the quantity of natural iodine needed to destroy years of limescale deposits, we also added wakame. It has been cultivated in Japan and Korea for centuries and has a stellar nutrient profile choice full of iodine. The iodine in wakame supports the repair of the prostate cells that were affected by inflammation and has the ability to scavenge the free radicals that cause premature aging. Now let's talk about kelp. There are probably around 30 varieties of kelp, but only one of them has the iodine that can locate and obliterate the microscopic mineral buildup that is wreaking havoc on your prostate. Not only that, this kelp also triples your urine flow and strengthens the cells of your prostate. In fact, thanks to its cleansing properties, in the 19th century, kelp was used as a water softener in order to purify it from hard minerals. For it to grow, this variety requires nutrient-rich water between 43 and 57 degrees Fahrenheit. So there are few Japanese growers who can really make it thrive. Because it absorbs the nutrients from its surrounding saltwater marine environment, it is called a powerhouse of minerals that can rejuvenate your urinary tract and kidneys. Kelp has strong antioxidant properties, protects cells against toxicity, and lowers inflammation. The last algae we've chosen is bladderwrack. Traditional medicinal practices have used it for centuries to treat an array of conditions such as iodine deficiency, joint pain, digestive issues, urinary tract infection, and thyroid dysfunction. Most importantly, bladderwrack significantly reduces PSA levels. PSA is a prostate-specific protein. When there's a problem with the prostate, such as a growth or abnormal developments, more PSA is released. So bladderwrack has the amazing ability to lower PSA and stop prostate enlargement. And with this, let's take it to step 2, flushing out all the toxic mineral buildup from your entire urinary system and body. After iodine enters your system and dissolves the toxic mineral coating, it is time to flush out all this solid microscopic matter from your body. This is when Shilajit salt steps in. Shilajit, also known as the Indian Viagra or destroyer of weakness, is an herbal salt found among the rocks of Himalayas, and it shows outstanding effects in treating BPH, sexual problems, and tract infections. And no wonder. It's packed with no less than 84 good minerals. Shilajit removes any excess fluid from your system, cleaning your body efficiently and quickly. In one study, oral administration of Shilajit showed an inhibition of prostate enlargement after just 15 days. While other studies have shown that Shilajit helps to increase testosterone levels, sperm count, and motility in more than 60% of the subjects after just 90 days. Moreover, it induces proper blood flow to the male genitals. It also relieves anxiety and stress, leading to better sexual arousal and enhancing potency while slowing the aging process. It's time to move to step 3. Strengthen your prostate and double power up urinary system well into old age. So many countries use this unique plant in their BPH treatments because it has real positive results. For example, it's found in 90% of BPH treatments in Germany and in 50% in Italy. I'm talking about saw palmetto. During a 12-week study in 92 men, it improved urinary tract infections associated with BPH, and in another study on 85 men over 45 years old, it considerably increased urine flow. Evidence suggests that it also makes it easier to pass kidney stones. This wonder ingredient blocks the 5-alpha reductase, an enzyme that causes the spread and growth of the prostate harmful cells. If this wasn't enough, saw palmetto can also improve hair growth by 60%. The best part? The strength of saw palmetto multiplies when it's combined with the iodine from seaweed. The next ingredient we added is so precious that in some countries it's considered illegal to buy, sell, or carry its seeds. This tree is called neem, and it left Asian medical scientists dumbfounded when it proved to reduce prostate tumors by up to 70%. It has antibacterial, antiviral, and antimicrobial properties, which aid in UTI treatment. It was not easy to find the right process to dilute and extract neem essence, nor was it easy to find a supplier at a reasonable price. We can honestly say that managing to complete our formula with neem was one of the greatest accomplishments of our team. Last step is step 4. Boost your libido and increase your stamina. For this, we used pomegranate extract. Pomegranate extract increases testosterone by 25% in just 2 weeks and boosts nitric oxide, the natural chemical inside your body that controls the muscles inside your genitals that makes them flex. If your body does not produce enough nitric oxide, your penis will have a very hard time becoming stiff and strong. At the same time, this astounding fruit reduces estrogen, the female hormone, and protects androgens, the male hormones. This means higher libido and stamina. That all sounds good, but what are the actual results, you might wonder? Of course, I was the first person to try it. All I had to do was shake the bottle well in order for the ingredients to combine into a super potent mix and take 1 full dropper every morning. I could pour it directly into my mouth or put it in my morning tea, coffee, juice, or any beverage I wanted to. I chose to put it in juice as I had to admit the taste of the dropper was not the best. But I knew all too well that it was because of the purity and combination of strong seaweed. They say good medicine tastes bitter, and I couldn't agree more in our case, considering what followed in the next weeks. After the first few days, I didn't really feel much, and we were all a bit discouraged, not going to lie. But soon enough, when I woke up one morning, I could feel something had clearly changed. My bladder didn't hurt anymore, and even 4 or 5 hours could pass without me feeling any pressure. Slowly but surely, I started going to the bathroom once before bed and once more after a restful night of sleep. I couldn't believe I was yet again sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed and full of energy. While in the hospital, I needed a catheter to empty my bladder and diapers when I went out of the house. Here I was now, much sooner than I'd thought, in full control of my bladder, ready to teach a 3-hour-long course without having to go to the toilet once. There were actual tears in my eyes when I donated what was left of my diaper stash. My wife couldn't be happier. We were all over each other once again, spending long, intense hours in the bedroom. It was like my ED and BPH never existed. Doctors could not believe their eyes. They saw me as an unexplainable miracle. How could someone go from a bulging bladder and inability to pee by himself to a 100% fully functional prostate in just a few short weeks? But the miracles were just starting. We asked more men to test our formula and to make sure it truly works. These men were the fathers, grandfather, or friends of the very students who helped me create it. We were overwhelmed by all the messages we got. Men who weren't able to pee properly in over a decade were now telling us how healthy and strong they were feeling. Others were thanking their lucky stars because they no longer had to deal with kidney stones, while others even claimed they canceled their surgeries because they no longer needed them. Since each daily report exceeded even my wildest dreams, it was clear that I couldn't keep this life-saving treatment all to myself. I mean, how could I soundly sleep at night knowing that another man risks becoming dependent on catheters or diapers, or risks facing deadly kidney infections? I had to make it available to as many men as possible. We called this advanced and unique dropper Prostadine, the only 100% natural, scientist-formulated health solution that addresses the root cause of enlarged prostate, the solid microscopic matter and toxic mineral buildup from hard water. Just take one full dropper per day in the morning. You can pour it directly into your mouth or put it in your tea, coffee, juice, or any other beverage you enjoy. Just make sure to shake the bottle well first, so the ingredients can combine into an extra potent mix. Prostadine gathers 9 scientifically proven extra strong ingredients that clear inflammation and flush out all the toxic mineral buildup from your system. Iodine and the 4 iodine-rich star seaweed in Prostadine are most efficient and bioavailable in their liquid form, which is why the dropper brings such impressive results. Every dropper is manufactured in the USA in our FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. We are regularly disinfecting the equipment used to process the ingredients and package our bottles. Prostadine is non-GMO and safe. It does not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins, and it's not habit-forming. Since its release, Prostadine has provided relief for more than 160,000 men. People like,
my prostate issues were getting worse day by day, and I was terrified that I would soon have to wear diapers. I was incredibly relieved when I realized there was a solution that could do wonders for me. I mean, going from having to pee 25 times a day to just 5 or 6 times a day? Not too bad, eh?
You have all my respect and appreciation, Jeremy. I have full control over my bladder and no more kidney stones. I don't remember when I had this much energy since I was in my 20s.
In my case, it felt like I drew the shortest straw when it came to prostatitis. Not only was my libido at an all-time low, but I also used to get pain and flare-ups when I finally managed to get intimate with my wife. Just a couple of months after finding out about this solution, I'm back in the game. And I'm sure my wife would agree it's better than ever.
by now, I'm guessing you're probably ready to try this state-of-the-art solution for yourself. And you should be. Because Prostadine is the first scientifically backed dropper that allows you to shrink your prostate and gain control over your bladder ultra fast. So, with all that in mind, let's talk about how you can get Prostadine today. First, what you need to know is that we absolutely refuse to cut any corners. With Prostadine, you're always guaranteed a premium, state-of-the-art product that is clinically tested and proven to work. We've never spared any expense when it comes to formulating it, especially since there are only a couple of laboratories in the world that can work with algae, iodine, and shilajit with such precision and care that they keep their properties intact so they can do their job, clear every trace of toxic mineral buildup, and dissolve the limestike-like coating that's causing pressure in your bladder. The bottom line is, quality like this doesn't come cheap. However, when you compare the price of Prostadine with tens of formulations containing outdated, generic formulas that are barely of any help, and given the lack of real solutions for BPH, urinary tract and kidney infections, we could easily offer this at a very high price. And considering the results our customers have seen without having to go through any embarrassing and uncomfortable rectal exams or expensive surgeries, most of them say they would pay it without even blinking. Think about it. How much would you be willing to invest to pee like a fire hose whenever you want and enjoy the strength, energy, and libido of a young man every single day? Or how much would you be willing to invest to never have to run to the toilet all the time or be at risk of urinary tract infections? And best of all, never ever have to fear that you might end up leaking in front of everyone or wear diapers. What would you be willing to spend if you were absolutely positively sure this formula would do wonders for you? $300, $500, $700. But you know what? Far from me to put a price on your health or on the peace of mind that being free from BPH brings. That's why my team and I thought that in order to make it affordable for most people, but also cover the ingredients costs and at least part of the research time that my team and I have invested, the retail value of the product should be at $175. Honestly, this is a steal considering what this unique dropper can do. However, our goal with Prostadine has always been to put it into the hands of as many people in need as possible. And that's why we decided to cut the middleman and instead of selling it in stores, making it available only on our website and pass the savings on to you. This means you don't need to invest $170 to transform the health of your prostate and urinary tract, nor $150, nor $120. All we want is to cover the costs of the ingredients and keep this site running for as long as possible. And even though I'll have to charge $99 for one bottle of Prostadine, soon considering the ingredients prices are rising due to the fact that the supply chains are very fragile nowadays and the energy prices are going up. And even though $99 for one bottle is surely a lot less than a visit to the urologist, today, only on this website and nowhere else, you can get your very own 30-day supply of Prostadine for a one-time 100% risk-free investment of $69. That's right, just $69. And because I'm so grateful you made it this far into the presentation, which means you're serious about your health, if you order 3 or 6 months package, we'll give you an even bigger discount and additional bonuses. Here's why. While many of our users experience noticeable changes in as little as a couple of weeks, the real magic happens when you take it for at least 90 days. We've seen the effects of Prostadine on a lot of patients. That's why I would recommend you put one full dropper into any beverage of your choice daily for at least 90 days, just to make 100% sure there's not a single trace of toxic mineral buildup attacking your prostate, urinary tract, or kidneys. Honestly, I cannot estimate exactly how much mineral buildup has accumulated at this point, nor how thick and hard the limestone-like coating that's covering your bladder is. This depends on many factors, like the area of the US that you're living in, how much tap water you've drank during your life, and even your immune system. But especially if you're over 40 years old and if you've drank tap water for at least 3 years during your lifetime, I recommend you take Prostadine for at least 3 to 6 months. 6 months if you want to be sure that not a single trace of toxic minerals is left no matter how much hard water you've drank during your lifetime. 6 months of Prostadine will also rejuvenate your entire urinary tract, help resolve your kidney stones quickly, and supercharge your libido and stamina. You can forget about ED or low energy. The healing ingredients of Prostadine will have enough time to build up and thrive in your urinary tract and body, cleaning everything of solid microscopic matters and toxic minerals, continuously reinforcing and freeing your prostate and bladder. This means the longer you take Prostadine, the better you feel, while the mineral buildup dissolves and gets flushed out faster and faster. In the meantime, the more your prostate shrinks and the better and easier you pee. Your progress improves exponentially every single day. And it would be a shame to be so close to never having to deal with an enlarged prostate ever again, just to notice you're out of Prostadine. Missing one day of Prostadine might lead to the immediate reaccumulation of the mineral buildup that hasn't been yet flushed out of your body. That means you could risk compromising or slowing down your entire progress, while having to wait months even for a new batch of this rare and advanced dropper to be available again, And when they finally are, if we manage to get all the ingredients again, that is, you might realize that their price is twice as high. While today you can get our 6-month package at an extremely steep discount. It even comes with free shipping. You won't spend a dime to get your delivery. The 3 and 6 bottle packages even come with free shipping. But that's not all. If you're smart and order the 3 or 6 month supply, you'll also get 2 bonus online guides worth $148 absolutely free. First bonus, Kidney Restore 2-day flash detox at home, a $79 value. Kickstart your Prostadine journey and cleanse your kidneys naturally with 7 unexpected spice and herb mixes from your kitchen that can do wonders in 2 days. Plus discover a simple ice hack to dissolve and pass kidney stones fast and pain-free. The surprising exotic fruit that keeps kidney stones and UTIs at bay for a good, and how to easily get it. The 3 superfoods you should avoid at all costs when it comes to kidney infections. All that and more. The next bonus is Rockstar Libido in 7 days, a $79 value. In this guide, I will reveal 1 odd tip that turns plain water into the most powerful natural Viagra for long-lasting erection on demand. A simple morning habit that will boost your stamina by 41%, according to Harvard scientists. The weird link between alcohol and ED and how you can use it for peak bedroom performances. And the one so-called healthy food that you should never eat, as it makes you go soft because it triggers the production of female hormones in your body. And a whole lot more. I can't wait for you to read them. I want you to be completely satisfied. So once you invest in 3 or 6 bottles of Prostadine, we'll also give you 2 bonus online guides worth $148 absolutely free. You will gain access to them immediately once you place your order. That's how confident we are that you'll love what Prostadine has in store for you. Now, maybe you have friends or family that also suffer from BPH. Or maybe you've been dealing with an enlarged prostate for some time. Or maybe you just like to be prepared. More and more of our customers are choosing to invest in the larger pack of 6 bottles, which saves them no less than $120 and gives them 2 free bonuses worth $148. And you should also know that our special bottling keeps Prostadine fresh for at least 2 years on your shelf. Due to the extremely limited supply and high demand, most of our clients are choosing the 3-pack and 6-pack packages. I can't guarantee this offer will be available if you choose to leave this page and come back later, so don't hesitate to stock up today for maximum savings. Please know that you won't find us anywhere else. We do not sell on Amazon or any other website. The only place where you can order this prostate healing protecting formula is right on this page, and the page will only be up for as long as we have remaining stock. If you're skeptical, we totally understand. You've tried a lot of methods, you've spent a lot of money, went through so much pain, and nothing worked. I am so confident that Prostadine works that I'm going to give you our ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If you don't experience any dramatic improvement, or you're not content for any reason whatsoever, we will promptly issue you a full, hassle-free refund. All you need to do is contact us within the first 60 days from your purchase. You can even send back the empty bottles and we'll still refund your money. Just get in touch with our friendly customer support staff and they'll be happy to assist you. The contact information is right on the bottle. This means you have 2 whole months to decide if Prostadine is for you or not. Your order today is a one-time payment with no subscription or hidden charges. Just choose the package you want below. Once you click on your chosen package, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Just fill in your payment details using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal. After that, we'll quickly send you your order in a discreet package for maximum privacy. Again, this offer is in extremely high demand. So my suggestion is, don't delay. You see, it can take us from 6 to 9 months to produce a new batch, as we're willing to accept only the purest ingredients, otherwise its efficiency would be compromised. And sure enough, searching and sourcing for the most potent ingredients around the world delays things considerably. Next, We ask a third-party lab to test the quality of each ingredient to ensure this advanced dropper does its best work. Finally, they're released to our contract manufacturer here in the USA for bottling. We don't receive the batch in our warehouse until the formula passes all the tests. As you can see, that's a lot of steps that involve a lot of people. However, with everything going on in the world right now, our distribution faces a lot of challenges. And with rising demand, Prostadine will soon be out of stock. Therefore, if you decide not to try it today, I can't promise it will be available later. Think about it right as you're watching this video. Thousands of men across the country are rediscovering what it's like to enjoy a steady and strong urine flow, happy to be completely free again. No more embarrassment, no more pain or fear of urinary incontinence. So no wonder they keep asking us for more bottles for them and for their dear ones. That's why, while Prostadine is still available, I urge you not to wait if you're still on the fence. And when you click on the button below, don't forget the multi-bottle packages. This way you'll make sure you have the rare Prostadine dropper on hand for the next several months and not risk running out just when you enjoy its amazing results the most. Remember, Prostadine has to do everything I said it would do, and even more, or I insist you send back the bottles, even if they're all empty, for a prompt and friendly refund. You're protected by our 60-day full money-back guarantee. I want to offer you a sincere thank you for watching my presentation, and congratulate you for taking what I think is a gigantic step toward a life without suffering. And if you're still thinking about it, I just want to ask you to take a second and imagine what awaits you if you don't choose Prostadine today. You might decide to spend more time and money looking for various options. This might take weeks or even months. In the meantime, the health of your prostate might get worse and worse, until the point where you might have to wear a catheter or diapers. Or maybe you believe the problem will go away by itself. Sadly, I've never heard of such a case. Quite the opposite. The more you leave BPH untreated, the more mineral buildup accumulates, suffocating your prostate and pressing on it, causing countless sleepless nights while you're desperately trying to squeeze out a few drops, robbing you of your freedom, libido, and strength. But it doesn't have to be like this. There's another option. Risk nothing at all today. Grab Prostadine right now and get the peace of mind you deserve. So just click below to make your choice. Enter your payment details on our secure order form and place the order now. We'll immediately ship your bottles directly to your home. Every order comes with free shipping no matter where you live, while the 3 and 6 bottle packages will also come with 2 free bonuses. I can't wait for you to experience every single benefit that Prostadine has to offer. Still here? Great. I wanted to take a second and answer the most common questions I get about Prostadine. I just want to make sure you feel 100% comfortable with your decision to order today. Number 1, how and why does Prostadine work? In the case of BPH, the body can't stop peeing because it's desperately trying to eliminate something that it considers to be toxic. Upon a close look, scientists have realized the answer lies in the water. In America, the hard water is filled with solid microscopic matter like calcium carbonate. The prostate becomes enlarged because it fills up with too much calcium carbonate, and over time, limestone-like deposits from all around your urinary system. The prostate becomes enlarged with this mineral buildup and makes you pee more in a desperate attempt to flush it out. Prostadine is a scientist-formulated mix that gathers 9 scientifically proven, extra strong ingredients into one unique dropper that targets the root cause of prostate enlargement and urinary tract infections, cleaning and flushing out the mineral buildup from your system. Prostadine has been proven by the experience of over 160,000 customers. Like Sam JT from Seattle, Washington, who said, "I am so grateful this product exists. My life is so much easier. I finally feel like myself again." Or Bob S. from Modesto, California, who wrote to us, "I'm a widower, and thanks to your formula, I can finally start socializing and dating again. Not tied up to the toilet anymore. Good job, Jeremy." Of course, the only definitive way to know for sure how well it can work for you is to try it today. using the special no-risk offer that you can find only on this page. Number 2, are there any side effects? Prostadine has been designed for all ages and medical conditions. All of the ingredients inside of Prostadine have been proven to be safe in clinical trials and are constantly tested for purity and to ensure against toxins and contaminants. Moreover, Prostadine is manufactured in an FDA-approved facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. With more than 160,000 customers, we haven't seen any notable side effects. So we're confident in saying that Prostadine is one of the purest prostate formulas you'll find on the market. As always, if you currently have a medical condition or you're taking other prescription medication, we advise you to show a bottle of Prostadine to your doctor before you take it, just to put your mind at ease. Number 3, when and how should I take Prostadine? We recommend you take 1 full dropper per day in the morning. You can pour it directly into your mouth or put it into your tea, coffee, juice, or any other beverage you enjoy. Just make sure to shake the bottle well first so the ingredients can combine into an extra potent mix. Number 4, what if it doesn't work for me? Can you tell me about the guarantee again? The more results we see, the stronger we believe Prostadine has the power to completely transform the health of your prostate and urinary system. It's true, though, that nothing works for 100% of the people who try it, as each body works in its own way. That's why every bottle of Prostadine comes with an ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If for any reason you aren't fully satisfied with the results, you can just return what you haven't used for a full, no-question-asked refund. Number 5, how can I get started? It's very easy. Just click the button below now to go to our secure order checkout page, enter in your information, and we'll immediately get to work shipping Prostadine right to your doorstep. So all you have to do today is click below, fill in your payment details on our secure order form, and submit your order. I can't wait to hear about your success story.